when we left off in season 7, Jaime left Cersei. He was dressed up like a sellsword. It started snowing in King's Landing. Do you think Cersei will kind of demand for his head?
That's a really good question. I think that all depends on how much Cersei finds out about what Jaime ends up doing. Like, if she finds out he's fully supporting all the Starks, he's telling on Cersei about her plan with the Golden Company, and, you know, whatever else. If she finds out Jaime has fully betrayed her and all of her secrets and plans and stuff like that, I think she might. It will be very hard for her to make that decision because she does still love Jaime, and it seems like she did have an opportunity to kill Jaime and she didn't. So
yeah,
it's like,
I was gonna ask you that. Like, what the fuck? Like, she's all this time she's been wanting to kill Tyrion, and she had the opportunity to kill Tyrion, and she didn't kill Tyrion. And then she could have killed Jaime, and she didn't. So, like, has she kind of like gone soft or what? Right.
I'm wondering if her becoming pregnant is kind of making her realize how much she needs family and loves her family and stuff like that. And like you said, I wonder if that is making her soft and wanting to be with her family now, even though she does have problems with Jaime and Tyrion. She still loves them, even though she doesn't always show it or say it.
Tyrion gave me major red flags. I don't know if it's just like, you know, just the way things were cut or whatever. When Jon and Daenerys were having boat sex, he was like kind of just creeping in the hallway, and he had a look. The look on his face to me was like concern.
Yeah, almost. It almost looked like he was a little more than concerned.
Like disappointed or something? Like,
well, I mean, concerned times 10, basically.
Oh,
like, okay, he had a like, his expression was, he wasn't hiding his expression at all. He wanted everybody to know exactly how he felt in that moment of time.
Right. And so I'm like, well, why does he feel like that? Like, why does he have that look on his face? Because he should be happy that he was just talking to her about the line of succession and her needing an heir or needing to name an heir and all of these things. So if she's marrying or she's having relations with someone, then that could potentially lead to what you were just talking to her about. But it seemed, and it's a very powerful person. Like, Jon is the king in his own right, so it's a good match. It's not like she's with
Dario.
Yeah, Dario. Like, it's not like she's with a sellsword. She's with the king.
You're right.
And she's a queen. So I didn't understand that. So it had me thinking, like, did he promise what the fuck did he promise Cersei in their meeting? Like, do you think it was something that we didn't see that kind of went down?
Yeah, you have to wonder if Tyrion promised Cersei something that had to do with her child. Like, you know, no matter what happens to you, Cersei, or what happens to Jaime or something like that, I'll make sure your kid is taken care of and your kid will, you know, still be in line to have a powerful position in Westeros and stuff like that. And I'm wondering if when he saw Jon and Daenerys hooking up, if he thought, like, this kind of complicates those plans.
Do you think that Tyrion could have been plotting to name Cersei and Jaime's kid Daenerys' heir?
Yeah, that's kind of like what I'm leaning towards. I would really hope not. I would be so disappointed if Tyrion would do that. But like you said, with the look on his face, combined with the conversation he had with Cersei and the part of that conversation they left cut out, it leaves us to question these things and wonder if he promised Cersei something that we don't know yet. And could that have to do with the look on his face when Jon and Daenerys were hooking up? You have to wonder if that is a possibility. Even though we don't want that to happen, you can't rule it out.
Do you think Tyrion could switch sides and be like Team Cersei?
He could. I don't think he will, but he definitely could.
Yeah, I don't... Like, I can't see his character doing that.
Right.
He fucking absolutely despises his sister. But if Cersei was to show him some genuine love, like, I feel like Tyrion has always wanted her to love him.
Absolutely.
if she was to show him some genuine love, I don't know what could happen, but that would break my heart because Tyrion is one of my favorites, and I don't want to see him.
And this would almost be the perfect time for Cersei to start showing Tyrion some love, because as of right now, in Jon and Dany's camp, he's kind of being left on the sidelines. So he's probably looking for some love. And if Cersei would start championing Tyrion while Daenerys is ignoring all of his advice and taking off on Jon and risking everything, he might be like, all right, well, I can see Daenerys' ship starting to sink, so maybe I should go back with my family and, you know, be inside of those castle walls or something, you know, who knows.
Yeah Tyrion could possibly switch.
It's possible. Definitely.
And that would be so heartbreaking.
Oh man.
So do you think the Mountain is loyal to Cersei or Qyburn?
That's another good question, and it looks like he is most loyal to Cersei because he acts on all of her commands. We don't ever really see him and Qyburn interact with each other that much, and it seems like whatever Cersei asks of him, he does without question. He never contemplates anything. He doesn't question anything. He just does it. So it seems like she basically controls his every move, but Qyburn is pretty much his creator and reanimated him. So you have to wonder if Qyburn wanted to take control over the Mountain, no matter what Cersei wanted, he probably could.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you think Qyburn put a cheat code in the Mountain?
like a fail safe?
Yeah, like if Qyburn says, like, I don't know.
Trigger or a safe word?
Yeah. Does Qyburn have a safe word for the Mountain?
That would be hilarious. It could get to a point to where, like, all right, Cersei's craziness is far exceeding Qyburn's craziness, and now he's like, it's time to abort this shit. And he just presses a button, and the Mountain just like turns around and
like just gives Cersei the work. Yeah, but like that's what I'm thinking. Like, I personally think that Qyburn has control over the Mountain. Qyburn is not no sweet old man. Like, he's a sick bastard. Yeah. And he, like, the things that he does to those girls that he takes, like the things he did to the Mountain, he was riding with the bloody mummers, like the bloody mummers. So he's not a good person.
He tries to act like it's all in the name of science and advancement and medicine and shit like that, but deep down he's a very twisted and savage. Yeah, like he's got some issues.
So do you think the Mountain can be killed by whites or White Walkers, or is he like essentially already dead?
Well, I kind of want to say something that I recently read in a plot leak, and I don't know if this is true or not either, but I want to give a spoiler warning just in case if it is. But even though I hated the outline that I did read, there was something in there that I thought was kind of interesting and would make a little bit of sense, and that was the Mountain might not be able to be killed unless he's killed with Dragonglass or Valyrian Steel too, since he's kind of a, you know, an undead white type of character. He doesn't really have the blue eyes like them, but when he took off his mask, his skin was kind of blue and whitish, kind of like theirs. And we saw how interested Qyburn was when he picked up the White's hand and saw it moving around. So you have to wonder exactly what is powering the Mountain and keeping him alive. And you have to wonder if regular steel and stuff like that could kill him. And I don't think it can. I think it probably would take a more magical weapon to take him down.
Yeah, I like that. I agree with that. I think that's very possible. Because basically he is a white. He's reanimated. So.
Yeah. And it probably would take fire or Valyrian steel or something crazy to take him down. I think if you just stabbed him with a iron sword or something like that, it probably wouldn't faze him.
Yeah, I can't see that fate. Yeah, like they built him up to be this kind of badass undead person. So if he could just die by like needle, that's ridiculous.
Oh, that would be so anticlimactic.
Yes.
Who was Doran Martell's bodyguard? What the hell was his name?
Ariel Hoda, man.
Yeah, and he died by like getting stabbed by like a freaking little needle, like a little tiny dagger in his back.
I said he was killed by a butter knife, and it's an absolute
like,
travesty.
The dude was a monster, a warrior. He was as big as Michael Clark Duncan from the Green Mile and he dies by a little 2-inch blade in the back. It's like, come on. If they would do that with the mountain, I would be so pissed off.
I would too. I want to see, like, I don't care what anyone says. Like, I want to see Clegane Bowl. Like, Clegane Bowl needs to happen, and it needs to be like a savage fight.
Yeah, to the death. Even if the Hound died during the fight too.
If the Hound dies too, like, it needs to be like, and that's the only reason the Hound is alive. Like, the only reason the Hound has stayed alive this whole time is because he hates the Mountain so much. He wants to kill him so bad. Like, when Brienne is on the Quiet Isle in A Feast for Crows and she's talking to the priest there, or the whatever they're called, he's telling her about the Hound, and basically he's like, well, this one wasn't alive because he loved something, or he wasn't a knight because he wanted honor. He didn't care about anything. All he had was hate for his brother, and he wanted to kill him. Like, yeah, that's crazy.
Absolutely.
So for him not to get to kill him would be bullshit. Now that we're finished talking about, like, the Mountain, Cersei's other biggest weapon is wildfire, where she's known to have wildfire. So do you think she's going to be stashing wildfire?
Yeah, I do. I do think Qyburn's secretly been making a lot more, and I think she knows how powerful it is. She saw what it was capable of doing during the Battle of Blackwater Bay. She saw how powerful it was when she blew up the Sept. I think she would be stupid not to basically stockpile more than that, just in case.
I agree. And do you think that she could come to the rescue with wildfire? Like, let's just say like, the North falls and they're just basically on the run. They're like, they send Cersei a raven, like, can you come help us, bring us wildfire? Do you think Tyrion would kind of send her a message?
That would be a hell of a character twist for her if she did end up helping after all this. I don't know how they could play that out to where everybody would like it, but she definitely could show up and save them with wildfire and help them with wildfire, but I don't think she ever will. I think she's really, even though we kind of talked about this earlier in the video where it looks like she might be feeling a little more compassionate for her family, I still do think she's ultimately all about herself and that alleged baby inside of her.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think if she was to get this raven, she'll probably send a raven back like, yeah, I'm coming to help. And she would come and just blow all of them up with wildfire. She wouldn't just target whites and White Walkers. She would just hit all of them with wildfire. But the logistics would be weird for her to be able to, like, catapult wildfire.
And it'd be out of character for her to want to help now.
To help, yeah. If only way she would help is if she's killing everybody.
Yeah, I like that, because if she would agree to that, we would know Cersei would have something up her sleeve, and it wouldn't just be to show up to do good and help them. It would be to definitely hurt her other enemies as well, not just kill the whites, but she would try to blow up Winterfell or something else too, and definitely give herself the upper hand afterwards.
Yeah, I agree with that. Well, last season we saw Jon go to Dragonstone to get dragon glass. Do you think anyone could go to King's Landing to get wildfire from Cersei? Like, Jon went and parlayed with Daenerys, like, I just need this dragon glass. Like, I'm not bending the knee, but I just need this dragon glass. Do you think that a scenario like that could take place, but instead of dragon glass, wildfire? Because I ultimately think that wildfire may have a part to play because it is magical fire. Yeah,
and we know fire kills them all, pretty much. Yeah, I think somebody could. I think Tyrion... Yeah. I think Tyrion could possibly try to do that because he knows how powerful it is. He's held it in his hands, and in the show he's the one who put that plan in motion for the Battle of Blackwater Bay. Yeah, I think Tyrion could do that. I think he might consider that, definitely, and he could possibly send a raven or try to go down there and get some. Yeah, that's definitely possible, and I would like to see wildfire play a role in this war.
Yeah, I definitely would like to see wildfire play a role, and I think that's kind of been foreshadowed as wildfire. There's a lot about wildfire, and wildfire burns hot. Like, the only thing that burns hotter than wildfire is dragon fire, so it burns like for a really long time, so I think that could do some real damage. to the Night King's army. I'm just not sure how they'll get their hands on it. But lastly, I want to talk about Cersei's baby. Like, do you think Cersei's baby lives or does it die?
I think it will die, and I don't know how many people listening to this or watching this know about this, but in the season 7 plot leak, her baby was supposed to die during season 7. At the end of the season, in the season 7 finale, she was supposed to wake up in bed with blood everywhere, and it was going to be basically interpreted as she had a miscarriage. But for some reason, they didn't add that in the season 7 finale, so I kind of think they're probably saving that for season 8, and I do think her baby will die, pretty much based off of the Maggie the Frog prophecy. She will not be able to have any more children. She had her 3 kids, and they all died, just like she said.
Yeah, I agree with you that her baby will die. And do you think like the season 8 could just open up with her baby dying? I
think so. That would probably be a good way to open it up with that happening. And depending on what they do with that little plot point, it could really drive Cersei's character in season 8. That could make her, I think, I kind of feel like if she does have a miscarriage, that would drive her into madness even further, because then she would truly have nothing.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think she might really think more on that Valonqar prophecy, because she's really paranoid with it. And I think that her being pregnant she kind of dropped some of that paranoia, like, haha, your prophecy was wrong, I'm pregnant. But if that baby dies, like, she's gonna be like, I don't think we've seen anything yet. Like she's just gonna lose it, because Jaime's gone, Tyrion's gone, her father's gone, all of her other kids died. Her being pregnant right now is kind of like her last little bit of hope that she's been holding on to. She's been holding her belly. She's seeing the little twinkle in her eye when she's talking about the baby. And if that baby dies, there's nothing left. She's just gonna be like, fuck it, basically. Basically.
Yeah.
Do you think that Cersei could be the Night Queen? Like, there's been a lot of, Night Queen theories floating around. And I think Gemma has a theory about Cersei being the Night Queen, because she has, like, a lot of snow imagery and ice imagery in the books. Could you see her being the Night Queen, or at least trying to align herself with the darkness that's coming with the Night King?
I think that would be really awesome if they did that in some way. And I think a lot of this speculation really started to heat up when Game of Thrones released that promo during the long walk, and it showed Cersei sitting down on the Iron Throne, and then she kind of exhales and the cold air goes out of her mouth. Then it transitions into the Night King's eye. And when I saw that promo, I was kind of like, holy shit, because I was thinking the Night King has to be extremely close for it to be that cold in King's Landing, or at least winter has to be finally here, which we kind of saw at the end of season 7 with snow falling in King's Landing. But I think that would be really cool. We know just from like the history and lore of this story, there was a Night's Queen before. And not only was there a Night's Queen, but she was also having babies and sacrificing them to the others. And I wouldn't be shocked if we got a Night's Queen today in today's story, and Cersei would be a really great character to be that Night's Queen, and I think that would be like a nice twist. And I know that the writers said during the rest of their story, the rest of their show, there's going to be 3 holy shit moments, and they've already done 2 of those, and they said the last one is going to be basically in the season 8 finale. And I think that would be a huge, crazy twist if somehow not only did Cersei survive the entire series, but she basically aligns herself with the Night King, and then they're rolling together. I think that would be an insane image to see the show end on, with the Night King sitting on the throne and Cersei standing right next to him. That'd be nuts.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Because that would mean everybody else died, and not only did she survive, but now she's with the ultimate representation of death. And it's just like, oh my God, that'd be insane. I would hate for that to happen, just because I hate Cersei as a character, like who she is as a person, I mean, but I love her character. But that would be a nice kind of punch to the gut for the series to end on Jon dying, Dany dying, everybody dying, and Cersei outliving them all. And she's with the Night King now. That'd be nuts.
That shit would blow my mind.
Oh my god, the internet would explode. That would be a crazy way to end the series. Oh
Yeah.
man, that would be nuts. Would you like to see that?
No. Like I would like to see her try to align herself with the Night King, but I would like for after she does align herself with the Night King, that the Night King is defeated.
How do you think she could try to do that? How would she how would she approach the Night King to try and form some kind of alliance with him or relationship?
She could give him babies. Like not her actual babies, but give him like a baby. Like, I have this baby here. Like, give him offerings. Because I kind of think like the Night King is kind of the great other, like kind of like how Craster did.
Mm-hmm.
Like, give offerings to the Night King. Like, I think Cersei might give offerings or sacrifices to him. Because Euron, she's aligned right now with Euron, and Euron is absolutely down with the sacrificial offering type of magical lifestyle. So
yeah, he's nuts.
I think Euron could introduce her to some crazy shit. And Qyburn was at the Citadel. He was a maester, so he might know that the Night King would take an offering.
Yeah, and they also made sure to show us that he was inspecting that white sand, so he definitely has an interest or fascination with these others.
Yeah, so Qyburn could just read. He might find in a book, you know, like, these things have been around for a long time, and the Northmen had been giving them offerings. And then Cersei was like, well, I'll give him some offerings. Get every baby F from Flea Bottom.
yeah, like how she rounded up, well, not her, but I guess it was kind of Joffrey who rounded up all of Robert's bastards. She could just kind of round up all of the babies in King's Landing, and when the Night King shows up, basically at King's Landing, she could just kind of like hold one in her hands and hold it up into the sky, kind of like in The Lion King when he holds when he just holds it up like, here, take this.
That'd
be hilarious.
That would be funny. But I mean, it's something like that I could see. I don't know what the show I feel like the show is going to do something completely different in the books. Like, I feel like the ending is going to be the same, but how they're going to get there is going to be more crazy, like more crazy for TV. Like, TV has a budget.
Yeah. What do you think when Dan and Dave say there's going to be 3 WTF moments in the show? What do you think that big last one's going to be in the finale? Like, what do you think they're holding back that's going to be a what the F moment, like Hodor and Shireen dying and stuff like that? What do you think they possibly got up their sleeve?
It could be like the death of Drogon. It could be the death of 2 dragons, both dragons. What I hate saying this, but it could be the revelation that Bran is the Night King. Like, I feel like if Bran is the Night King, he's only going to be the Night King on the show.
Yeah.
I don't think he's the Night King. I mean, I just don't. But I mean, it's not that I just don't. Like, I just don't have time to say all the reasons why I think he's not the Night King right now. But I don't think he's the Night King. But it could be the revelation of who the Night King is. It could be the revelation of, like, that the Night King is really a good person and is trying to save Westeros from something.
Yeah, I do feel like the last WTF moment is going to have something to do with the Night King or the others, and it's going to be something. I hope it's something that none of us really have expected or predicted yet, because I do want to have a huge shocking moment to where when I see it, I'm like, holy crap, I didn't see that coming.
Well, I think we all are, because you can theorize like no one in the Game of Thrones community in any video I've ever watched had predicted the hold the door thing before the hold the door thing.
No, nobody.
So that was a true WTF. So if they're talking true WTF, then they're talking stuff that we're not hinting on. Like, of course, Jon being Rhaegar's son, or Rhaegar and Lyanna being married, like, that wasn't a WTF.
No, everybody been pretty much guessing that for years.
Yeah, so it's things that I feel like aren't in the books. They can't be in the books yet because the books aren't finished yet. But it's going to be something that George, whatever it is going to probably be something that George has written up.
Yeah, it's got to be something epic for them to say they've been holding it back, and it's a big WTF moment. Like, kind of like you said, they must know that no one out there is really guessing or predicting it yet for them to know that it's definitely going to shock everybody. I hope nobody's guessed it or theorized on it yet, because I would like to be surprised and have a really good surprising, something that doesn't just shock me, but I like it. Like, it's like, holy shit, I didn't see that coming, but I love that they did it.
So what do you think the WTF moment, like, what were the two that they've already done?
The one was the Hodor thing, and I think the other one was Shireen.
Shireen?
I think that was one of the ones they said they were doing was the Shireen thing.
To me, Viserion dying and being reanimated as a white was more shocking than Shireen dying.
Yeah, because a lot of people were already kind of guessing that would happen, that Stannis, even in the books, a lot of people have speculated that Stannis would eventually take it that far and sacrifice his daughter.
He's committed.
Yeah, that didn't shock a lot of people. Yeah.
I've seen her dying for a long time. Before it happened, I knew that was going to happen.
So maybe with that moment, that WTF moment, maybe they didn't mean it was like shocking, like we didn't see it coming. Maybe they just meant it was shocking, like we can't believe this father would actually do this to his daughter. Maybe they meant it in that kind of sense.
I mean, there's been a lot of WTF moments, like Arya killing the phrase. That was a WTF moment.
I can even go all the way back to season 1. Like, when Ned was killed, I didn't think, even as his head was leaning down and I saw Cersei Payne swinging ice through the air, when I watched that for the first time, I still thought something was going to happen that would save Ned Stark. I'm like, there's no way they're going to cut his head off. He's going to get up and move. Somebody's going to come out of the crowd. Joffrey's going to say, never mind, real quick. But when they actually cut his head off, that was a huge WTF moment for me, because I couldn't believe they took out a main character that quick.
Yeah, it was the same for me. Like, I was kind of like, when I was watching, I was like, they're not going to kill him. He's the main character. Like,
yeah, there's no way.
Why are they doing this? Like, why are they playing this out like this?
Yeah,
when on the next episode, when they held up his head, I almost fell in the floor.
Yeah, I was still in denial at that point. I'm like, there's no way they killed Ned, because he almost felt like my father. Like, even though he's a character on a show, he just had that kind of like fatherly, wholesome, that homey feeling, to where it's like, man, I really connect with this character, and he feels like my dad. I don't want him to die.
My Paul.
Yeah, don't kiss my dad, damn it. What are you doing? Yeah, even I was in complete denial when they showed his head. I'm like, come on, no way. No, please, no.
It was like that for me too. I think when Lady died, like, I'm like, he's gonna let her go.
Right.
Like, I thought he was gonna let her go. Like,
he should have.
Like, why the fuck didn't you let her go? Why did you kill her?
Right. He should have let her go, because he went outside by himself. No one was around.
And then, like, me, like a sane, normal thinking person, if my best friend orders me to kill to do something that's gonna like crush my child, like, I'm like, fuck you, you're not my friend, I'm going the fuck back home.
Right.
Like, I would just take my whole household in the middle of the night and go the fuck home.
Yeah, and I kind of felt bad for Robert too, because he didn't want Ned to have to do that. Like, he wanted Cersei to just drop it and forget about it, but he just got so fed up with Cersei keep pushing and pushing and pushing. As he was walking out of that room, he was just like, I'm done with it. Just whatever happens, happens. Like, I'm sorry, Ned.
Yeah, but he's the king. Like,
yeah, you gotta put your foot down.
Yeah, and he has the last say. Like, nobody's like, you can't be king if you're letting someone else run your castle.
Right. I wonder if he just felt still like he needed Tywin at that point. I don't know.
Oh yeah, definitely. But still, like, she's not gonna leave you because you don't order him to kill his dog. Like, she can't go anywhere.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Before you wrap up this video, there is something I wanted to ask you. What do you think's going to happen between Cersei and Euron? Because Euron keeps doing and doing and doing for Cersei, and she keeps promising and promising and promising she's going to give him something. But at some point, do you think Euron's going to finally get fed up to where he's like, all right, I brought you your gifts. I took out the Greyjoy and Martell fleet. I brought you the Sand Snakes. I went to Casterly Rock and took out the Targaryen fleet while the Unsullied were still in the castle. I went and got the Golden Company for you. Now it's time for you to do something for me. Do you think Euron will put Cersei in a position to where she finally has to, you know, make him king or have sex with him or do something for him? Or do you think Euron will get to a point to where he's like, I'm just done with Cersei. She's not giving me anything back?
That's a good question.
Like, do you think they'll get married? She'll make him king. She'll try to give him a baby. Do you think she'll finally give in to him?
She's an idiot if she marries him, because once she marries him, he doesn't need her anymore.
Yeah, he'd probably try to kill her.
He's king, and he'd probably kill her.
Yeah.
So if she marries him, like, that's signing her death warrant. But if I could see her, like, telling him, like, yeah, let's go on and we're gonna have sex tonight, and him taking her, like, her taking Euron into her bed chamber and having the Mountain kill his ass.
Wow, that'd be nuts. Like, after he already went and got the Golden Company, she wouldn't.
Yeah, like I don't need you, sir. I'm gonna kill you.
Because I've been wondering, like, what they're gonna do with those two storylines, because at some point Euron's finally gonna get fed up because he keeps doing for Cersei and doing all these things for her, and she keeps promising, like, you'll get what your heart desires once we, you know, do this thing. But we all know how Euron is, and I don't think he's going to continue to keep being Cersei's bitch without getting something. And, you know, the story's running out. There's only 6 episodes left, so there's got to come to a point to where Cersei either gives him something to keep him, you know, content, or Euron's finally like, I'm going to do my own thing now.
Yeah, I'm kind of something's gonna have to give in that situation, and I don't know, like, if Cersei does marry him, then she's not her. Like, in real, like, if you look at, like, some history of, like, England, like, let's just go with Queen Elizabeth, the Tudor, Henry Tudor's daughter. Like, she didn't get married. She just was supposedly the virgin queen, and she didn't get married. And basically, like, you don't get married when you're queen, because your husband then becomes more powerful than you, because he's the king and he's the male, and people will listen to him. And I think Varys has a really good quote on it, like, power resides where men believes it resides. Yeah. So if Cersei was to marry Euron, then who does Cersei's forces listen to, Cersei or Euron?
Right, and especially when Euron's like a man of action. He actually goes out onto the battlefield or the battle sea. He, you know, he's boots on the ground with the troops. They'd probably want to listen to him before they listen to her.
They've just traveled. The Golden Company has just traveled with Euron all the way from Essos, so they know him better than they know Cersei. Yeah,
because they'd be on a sea together for at least a month or 2, or however long it takes to sail that far.
Yeah, and Euron is also, like, really generous. Like, he gives a lot of gifts to people.
Yeah.
Like, he
can be very charismatic too.
Yeah, he took the shields, but then he immediately, after he took them, he gave them away. And then he had Dragonbinder, and he gave that to Victarion.
Yeah.
And someone said something to him about his gifts, and he was like, I'm not responsible, or I give people the gifts, but I'm not responsible for what they do with them or how they keep them or whatever. Some kind of quote like that. So he is like like, he would be open-handed with people.
Yeah, I think Euron kind of has leverage at this point, and why I think that is because the Lannister army is dwindling in numbers right now. Cersei just lost her brother and commander, Jaime, who's heading north. Euron has the fleet, Euron has the Golden Company with him, and I think Euron could almost use that to his advantage and almost force Cersei to doing something for him. And Cersei could almost feel desperate in a sense to where she's like, all right, he does have the ships, he does have the men on his ships. I just lost my brother. My Lannister forces are, just got smoked on the field of fire. I have no other allies. I need to give this man something, because if I lose him, then I'm truly screwed.
What if she says, like, we'll get married in, I don't know, wherever she says, like, what's left? The dragon pit is still there, but I doubt they would get married in the dragon pit. What if she says, well, we'll get married in the throne room. Meet me at the throne room at such and such time for our wedding. And she blows that bit up with wildfire. Like, I can totally see her doing that.
And you just see her standing on her balcony, smoking a cigarette, looking at it. It's like, I got them again, right. Suckers.
They keep falling for it.
Do you think Cersei's going to end up killing Euron, or do you think your theory about Euron being the Valonqar is going to play out in this show? Like, how do you think their relationship ends? Do you think it ends with Euron killing her, or her killing Euron, or Euron dying by, Theon or Yara or something, some crazy way during a rescue attempt?
I would like Euron to be the one to kill her, because I feel like in the books, that's how it's going to go down 100%. That
Me
Euron
too.
Is the one that kills her. But I feel like on the show, they've made Euron kind of menacing, but Euron's, he doesn't seem to me the type to just straight up kill her, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like he would torture the fuck out of her and like play mind games with her.
That's true.
And all kinds of things like that before he was actually to kill her. Like, he's kind of like Ramsay Bolton. Like, Ramsay Bolton could have killed Theon, but instead he just made him into Reek.
Yeah.
So I feel like Euron might make Cersei into like a Reek person before he would actually kill her. And I think that Jaime might actually like try to rescue her near the end and then just wind up killing her because she's so pitiful.
Yeah, I don't you're right. I don't think Euron gets satisfaction out of just ending somebody's life immediately. He likes to toy with them and play with them and torture them and make them eat each other and play mind games, and like you said, he's sadistic, he's crazy. So yeah, I don't think he would just put her lights out immediately. He probably would prolong it and torture her if she didn't give him what he wanted.
In A Feast for Crows, they told Cersei, like, she was having like a council meeting, and they told her, like, Euron or Balon Greyjoy's brother, it could be a potential ally, and she basically viewed the Greyjoys as pieces of shit.
Yeah.
She was like, I'm not climbing in bed with that sorry pack of squids.
Yeah. I remember you mentioning this to me a while back. She pretty much thinks, she looks at them kind of how Jaime looks at Euron in the show, just like F them.
Yeah, like to that Cersei, which was before her walk of shame and all of that stuff, which was before everything that's going on prior to Marjorie's death, or prior to season 5. So it was before that, like season 4 Cersei. That's how she felt. Now, could she have changed? I personally don't think that she has any interest in Euron at all. And the only thing that she's just using him. So I don't think she's gonna be a willing marriage participant. I think she's gonna drag him along as long as she can.
Yeah.
Until she either kills him, or he kills her, or they kill each other.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely don't think she desires to marry him at all. But if she's just using him, like you said, if she could see a real gain out of marrying him or sleeping with him, she'll do it. But if she can keep promising him the stars and the moon and he'll keep doing stuff for her, then she's fine with just dragging him along, like you said. And how did she actually word it? When she promised him she would give him whatever his heart desires or something. Did she say that after she defeated all of her enemies? Is that how she said it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
so
after
then,
the war's won.
yeah. So then Euron technically agreed to keep helping her until everybody's wiped out. So technically she could be like, well, yeah, I did promise you that, but Jon and Dany are still alive. So until we kill them, you don't get shit.
And I'm telling you, she's plotting on killing his ass. I feel like the Cersei that I know, like far as in reading the books, she's not gonna like, I don't know though, because Cersei has given up the cat to a couple of people that's not Jaime. So
that's true too.
That is true. She could like screw him, but it's like, I don't know. I feel like yeah, she might. That might be what she gives in. She might have sex with him.
I think at some point she will have to make a decision, because if she doesn't give him something at some point, he will try to kill her. So she's going to have to make a choice: either give in and give him something to kind of keep him on the rocks, or you're going to have to take him out before he does something sadistic to you, and you're going to end up in that dungeon next to Ilaria.
That's gonna be fucking crazy if she has to go and touch it with them. Yo, like I couldn't even imagine that conversation. So we've talked about Cersei and her fate and future, and just made a couple predictions. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Dan, thanks for coming on.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on, Gray. I really enjoyed talking about Cersei, the Wicked Witch of Westeros Lannister.
Yes, that is, she's accurately named the Wicked Witch of Westeros Lannister.
I really enjoyed this. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate that.
No problem. And if you guys have missed any of our other videos where we did the duos of different characters' fates, I have them all linked on one playlist. I'll link it in the description box and up at the top. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks to everyone that supports me on Patreon. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Please click that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and join the Sweet Summer family. Okay, my sweet summer children.
Shame.
Have a good day.
Shame. Shame.